Hey guys, so as everybody knows, the market's been grinding up for what feels like forever, and I'm kind of tired of it, and just kind of waiting, biding my time and for an eventual pullback with the positions I've got on. But I thought it'd be fun actually to look at a couple other things, namely commodities, in light of what seems to be happening. It might be an inflation trade in the broader indices, and it's hard to believe that at some point that isn't going to, this is inflation that's impacting the markets, that it's not eventually going to hit the commodities as well. So just looking at a couple of things here. I've got silver. You can see it's in a nice little triangle that's forming, actually pretty big. I mean, pretty amazing what's happening here. We've got, this huge spike that happened a couple years back. A lot of people thought it was going to go to the moon, didn't, came back. Been sort of in this range, decreasing range ever since, and it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And sort of getting close to critical levels here. Kevin, I know you like to look at price levels a lot. I like price levels as well, but sometimes, price levels or price areas, I don't know if they necessarily reflect trends as well as trend lines do. And I think long term we can see what the trend here is. Definitely up. I mean, if you go back, actually silver SLV doesn't go back that far, but if you were to go back to 40 years ago, silver was at $1, and now it's 28 bucks. So probably, I expect there to be some more movement here, and my bias is definitely to the upside. Although it could break down here. I mean, I guess just if we crack this, talking about price levels, if we crack this level here, it's pretty critical. If we crack it heavily, I wouldn't necessarily want to do silver. But I'm kind of thinking we may bounce. We could bounce here. We could bounce here. We could bounce this channel here. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. Got this channel formation here. Got a channel within a triangle. This could have been, this is a pretty big move in gold and silver on Friday, and could be a little bit of capitulation there. If this doesn't hold, then I expect this level to hold. If that doesn't hold, then this price level. If that doesn't hold, then look out below. My inclination is always to be a contrarian. Something I've had to fight against ever since I started trading. I don't know why I'm that way. I think a lot of people, a lot of us are out there with this kind of fun. You want to catch the maximum move or whatever, but the problem is of course, when you do that, you're taking a risk. And another thing I like to do is put on too big of a trade. So being a contrarian who trades too big can be pretty dangerous, and it has been for me in the past. But I'm going to try to hold off on my urges here to buy. And I'm going to see if we break down to here. If we break down to this level, I may just go ahead and start buying a little bit. And this is definitely a little bit of a longer term trade for me. I know I'm not, I told you, Kevin, I wasn't going to be doing any more directional stuff, but this is something I just have been watching and waiting for a long time. So I'll be very modest with what I do. But I'm definitely going to probably, I actually was thinking about buying some physical silver, so I wouldn't watch the charts. But I may just pick up some shares of SLV or maybe some leaps or in the money, options payments out. Anyway, I want to see what happens here this next week. See if it breaks down to here. What I'd really like to see happen is for this to pop up and bounce somewhere off of this line here. If that happens and we get any kind of volume, to me, that is just such a clear signal that that could be a really good trade. Because if you look at this here, I've actually been doing a little bit of research into different price patterns, and I was looking at this Martin Pring book, and he's kind of one of the granddaddies of price patterns, at least in modern history. And what he said in his book is that if you look at these triangles and you're trying to measure a potential move, I mean, the difficulty with triangles is you don't know which way it's going to move. It's not like a lot of other price patterns where you can see it in formation and you can expect it's going to go one way or the other. My thought on where this is going to go is, for the most part, based on fundamentals. I just can't see how how the stock market's going to go into the sky and gold and silver are going to fall, going to drop like crazy. I just have a really hard time seeing that. Could happen, but I'll be very surprised if that happens. If it does, I won't be holding on to it down below this level. But anyway, so one of the things these technicians do to measure a potential move is in break out of one of these triangles is they look at the broadest part of the triangle and measure it. So you go from here, which is 48 bucks, down to here, which is 20 bucks. It's $28. And then you go to the apex of the triangle, which we're just about at, and you can potentially expect this move here, or this distance here, to be reflected here. So if you figure 28 bucks times 256, so, that would be a very nice move. And I'll tell you what, I mean, silver can move. I mean, if you look how quickly, just a few weeks, boom, 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 the price shot up like 50%. And I think the same thing can happen here. So I think this is actually kind of one of those once in a while opportunities that comes along, and I think it's going to happen. Here's something else that's interesting. Gold's doing the same thing. It's not quite as pronounced in the triangle formation, but it's definitely there. And check this out. Look at crude. And this is happening all over the place in these charts. All the commodities, they're coiling in a big, big way. Copper. I mean, I'm sure you can just go across the board. Let's look at wheat. It's a little messier, but kind of doing something similar. And then I did a couple of other things here. Oh, actually, let me, here's another interesting one. You look at bonds. It's in this pretty cool channel here, rising channel. Boy, I don't know. I mean, it's funny because bonds have really dropped quite a bit lately. But it's really, when you look at this chart, it's really no wonder that the stock market has been moving the way it has. I mean, it's pretty well known that when money moves out of bonds, it likes to go into stocks. And they got to put that money somewhere. And so here we are, perfect doji here on the monthly. I would not be surprised if we got a bounce here in the bonds. I'm not sure what the correlation though is between bonds and gold and silver. I don't know if there really is one. So I'm not too worried about that, and I'm looking at buying those. But anyway, and then let's see. So we've got the dollar, which is also in this incredible formation here. Kind of looks to me like, I mean, we got a little bit of a pop here. We're starting to, not much volume, but we could get a little pop in the dollar here, and then that actually, that actually could give a little colorful stuff here, huh? That could roll things over a little bit more for silver. I mean, I would not be surprised at all if silver dropped back to 26, or maybe even down to this level. Well, I don't think it's going there. Who knows? But you know, I mean, there are a lot of people who the gold and silver trade is killing them. I mean, they're you know, these gold bugs and stuff. These guys that they think the world's coming to an end, and they put all their money in gold and silver, and I'm sure they hate the fact that the markets are going up and gold and silver are not. But their time is going to come if they're patient. One of these days, I mean, check out this channel, man. This, I mean, I can just see this thing launching off this level. I just can't see it collapsing here. I mean, when, you know, the fact that, you know, aside from, you know, this, hold on one second here. Okay, what I was going to say, aside from, you know, my fundamentalist picture on what I think is going to happen here. I mean, I think, you know, it just seems to me, you know, that when inflation happens and money supply, that gold and silver go up. And it's hard to see a deflationary spiral in gold and silver. So, but aside from that, if you look at the fact that this is in this channel, I mean, that's pretty cool. You know, this channel inside of this massive triangle formation. Pretty good signal, I think, that we're going to get a big, big, big move here. Something else I wanted to do. So, anyway, you know, I also think you can say, well, look, is this, actually, I'll do it in gold here, do some pictures. Are these, is this a reverse head and shoulders formation here? Maybe. Of course, you could look at the flip side of that and say, well, is this a head and shoulders formation? Who knows? I mean, that's the nature of this thing. Is you really don't know for sure which way it's going to go, but I don't know. I think we're getting ready to pop here one of these days. Again, I'm not buying it yet. I'm going to wait, try to be patient. And if we can bust, I'm more bullish with silver than I am with gold. It just seems to move faster. Gold could go to, you know, 2,000, 2,200. I think silver could double in the blink of an eye. And anyway, that's about all I wanted to say. So thanks for listening, and I'd love to get your thoughts on my little charts here and see if you have them yourself. Back to you.